We'll be getting you all the details as we receive more on the rescue and the operations and the survivors. But now let's move on to our next story, where a PIL has now been filed with the Supreme Court after the deaths that occurred due to a stampede at Prayagraj, even as the Mahakumbh was going on. Now, we understand that 30 people have lost their lives and about 60 were injured. Now, the big development has come on the front of the Mahakumbh stampede is that a PIL has been filed at the Supreme Court. This is after the deaths were reported of about 30 people and after 60 were injured. A PIL has now been filed at the Supreme Court following the tragic stampede incident which occurred yesterday at the Mahakumbh in Prayagraj, which led to the deaths of 30 and has injured over 60 people. The breaking news coming in this morning is that a PIL has now been filed in the Supreme Court in the case of the death due to the stampede in Prayagraj Mahakumbh 2025. The petition has demanded a status report on the stampede in Prayagraj Mahakumbh and action against officials responsible for it. Viewers, I'd like to just recap for you what happened as the stampede broke out on Wednesday in the wee hours between 1 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. when some barricades broke near the Sangam Ghat, which led to a stampede, and people which had gathered for the Moni Amavasya ritual had descended onto Prayagraj. Now, Shivangi, there's a PIL has been filed with the death following the Mahakumbh stampede. Which other details do we have? Because as I understand, the UPCM has also ordered a judicial probe to get some understanding as to who were the responsible in terms of the officials which led to the stampede and subsequent loss of 30 people's lives.
That is right. Like you're saying, Priyanka, we know that the UPCM has announced a judicial probe into the Mahakumbh stampede that left 30 people dead and many injured on Moni Amavasya. And a 3-member judicial commission has been formed to investigate. But this PIL is also looking for a status report. The petition has been demanded a status report on the stampede in Prayagraj and the action against the officials responsible for it. Now, this is a PIL filed in the Supreme Court in the case of deaths due to the stampede in the Mahakumbh. The petition has said that all the states should open a facility center in the Kumbh Mela area so that non-Hindi speaking people get convenience. Petition has demanded that the VIP movement should be limited in such events and maximum space should be given for the common people. I'm reading out all the demands. I repeat, I'm reading out all the demands of the PIL because the PIL is asking for a couple of things here. The PIL has demanded that display or boards should be installed in major languages of the country to avoid stampedes in big religious events and to give correct information to the people, and states should give information to their pilgrims on mobile, WhatsApp and others. So also setting up medical desks. So all these are the demands of the PIL. Now, these are demands of the PIL. This has been filed in the Supreme Court in the case, and most of it is about making sure that the pilgrims get the right facilities. It is also about demanding action against those who are responsible for that tragedy. So we will be taking this story forward and getting you all the updates. And remember that even the UPCM Yogi Adityanath has similarly asked for a report. He has been holding high-level meetings at his residence with senior officials and has asked for a report from the senior officials on what happened. So
thank you for those details coming in, as a PIL has now been filed with the Supreme Court to take cognizance of who is responsible for the stampede which erupted on Wednesday. Whereas now let's take a look at the Mahakumbh stampede which claimed the lives of 30 with 60 people were injured. Now, the UPCM Yogi Adityanath has not only ordered a judicial probe into the incident but has also announced an ex gratia of 25 lakhs for the next of kin of the deceased. Take a look at the report as to what transpired, what led up to the stampede in the special report.
Crowds of devotees swelling up. Barricades broken despite the warnings of the authorities. At least 30 people have been killed and over 60 others are injured after a stampede broke out in the Mahakumbh on the day of the Moni Amavasya. The aftermath shows tragic visuals as belongings of people caught in the stampede laid bare on the ground. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has announced a 25 lakh rupees ex gratia for the families of the deceased.
जिन्होंने इस हादसे में अपने परिवार के सदस्यों को खोया है, वहाँ पर मेला प्राधिकरण के पास वो पूरी सूची है, उन लोगों ने उसको वहाँ पे जारी भी किया है। मैं उन सब के प्रति अपनी संवेदना भी व्यक्त करता हूँ और परिवारजनों को हम प्रदेश सरकार की तरफ से 25-25 लाख रुपए की आर्थिक सहायता की घोषणा भी कर रहे हैं।
While ordering a judicial probe into the matter, Chief Minister Yogi also assured that all arrangements have been beefed up.
घटना दुखद है, मर्माहत करने वाला है। उन सभी परिजनों के प्रति हमारी पूरी संवेदना है और इस पूरी घटना की हम लोग न्यायिक जांच करवा करके इसकी तह में भी जाएंगे। इसके अलावा पुलिस के स्तर पर भी अलग से हम लोग इसकी एक अलग से भी जांच करवाएंगे कि आखिर कहां पे ऐसे हादसे किन कारणों से हुए हैं।
At least 25 deceased persons have been identified by the police so far, and the identification process for the others is underway.